Hello everyone, my name is Frauke Urban. I'm an associate professor at KTH. I'm presenting this research on sustainable energy transformations in aviation, together with my project partners Emma Karakaya from KTH, Anna Björklund from KTH, and Johan Nov2020 from the University of Linköping. We received some project funding from the Swedish Energy Agency in Energimyndigheten for this project. And we also received some startup funding from the energy platform at KTH. I will now very briefly take you through this research. In terms of the background for this research, we're dealing with the aviation sector, so a sector which is very much dependent on fossil fuels. And this poses challenges with regards to mitigating the emissions that lead to climate change and achieving the limiting of the global atmospheric warming to below 2 degrees in line with the Paris Agreement. At the moment, about 5% of all the greenhouse gas emissions in Sweden are coming from the aviation sector. So the sector really has to change. Also in line with the Swedish government goals, which are to achieve carbon neutrality by 2045. So by then, the transport sector, including aviation, also needs to have net zero emissions. And already today, we're seeing a lot of changes in the aviation sector. There are a lot of initiatives, a lot of R&D, and a lot of new business models in place to achieve these transformations in Sweden. So for example, in Swedavia, the Association of Swedish Airports, all domestic flights shall be fossil-free by 2030. And then we also see initiatives on biofuels, a sustainable jet fuel, on electric aircrafts, and more international, we also see a move towards hydrogen-based aircrafts. So this is a very interesting and very innovative sector looking into the future. In terms of where we're coming from, so we had a workshop funded by the KTH Energy Platform in January 2020, which brought together a lot of important stakeholders working in the aviation field and who are busy with developing solutions for sustainable energy transitions in aviation. Following that, we submitted a proposal to the Swedish Energy Agency for sustainable energy transformations in aviation. We were successful. We received 13.8 million Swedish crowns for a 4-year-long project by the Swedish Energy Agency. This covers 3 full-time PhD students and also 4 senior project members at KTH and University of Linköping. We're aiming to contribute to the acceleration of biofuels, electric aircrafts, potentially also hydrogen in the aviation sector in Sweden. And we're particularly interested in the socio-technical opportunities and barriers. So the research question we have is, how do these sustainable energy transformations in Sweden lead to an acceleration? How can we accelerate the transition to bio-based jet fuels, electric aircrafts, possibly also hydrogen? We're focusing on the economic implications, on the sustainability implications, such as wider environmental sustainability, beyond just emissions. We're focusing upon policy frameworks and also customer perspectives and socio-technical transitions. For this research, we're employing a mixed methods approach, so both qualitative and quantitative research methods are being used. We're starting with a literature review and a data analysis, and then one PhD student is going to conduct some energy modeling to develop scenarios for long-term future, looking into emissions, stability of the system, costs. Another PhD student is focusing on the life cycle analysis, so the sustainability implications. And another PhD student is focusing on the social and political side. And here we're also using interviews, focus group discussions, and surveys. We just started the project in 2020 in September. We're currently working on a literature review paper. The PhD students are just starting up. So in the next month, we will be refining our methods, preparing our field work. And then in the long term, the expected results are supposed to be a roadmap for how to achieve sustainable energy transformations in aviation in Sweden, with a focus on the socio-technical systems to understand not only the technical implications, but also what this means for society, for policy, for businesses, and so on. Thank you very much for listening. This was a very short presentation. If you have comments or questions, you can email me. My email address is fraukeurban@kth.se. And we also have 2 websites that you can visit to find more information. Thank you very much for your attention.